Why? Hey guys, I'm William from Housepod the Video Store, and this week I'll be talking about the Season 5 half-season finale of The Walking Dead entitled Coda. Before we get to the bombshell that happened at the end of the episode, spend a little bit of time just talking about the stuff that happened prior to that. So the episode opens with Rick chasing down the cop that escaped at the end of the prior episode. And he gives the guy a few warnings to stop over the loudspeaker on the car, hits him with the car, and kills him because he kept running. Maybe Rick was doing this because he thought the guy running, even when he asked him to stop, meant that he would try to double-cross him or do something stupid later. Or he's just getting much more ruthless than he ever was before and just capped the guy right then and there to not have to worry about it later. Who knows, but it's odd to see Rick continue to go down this path where he's just more and more vicious, becoming more like someone, say, the governor than what he was in prior seasons. Other notable things in the episode, Gabriel decided to go to the school and brought back a group of zombies with him as he fled from them on one gimpy leg and one normal leg. And in an ironic turn, he is the one that's locked out of the church being pursued by zombies, but instead of being him on the other side of the door, it's Coral, and Michonne. So they let him in, the zombies flood the church, they have to go outside and board him up. Abraham shows up, and this is kind of the point where you know, okay, so Maggie's back, they're going to go to the hospital to help with the rescue of Beth. This show is probably not going to let them have a happy sister reunion where they can hug. And if you think about it though, this is the first time the entire season Maggie's really talked about Beth. Maybe there's just laziness on the part of the writers to not have her talk about her sister who's been missing, or maybe it was just her actual character didn't want to think about what could happen to her sister because you just assume the worst, because if you think that they might come back, you can drive yourself crazy wondering what did happen. That's never really addressed, but she is all about finding her sister now. So you get to the exchange of prisoners. The two cops that were left were agreeable with Rick by saying that the other cop had been killed down by zombies as opposed to Rick killed them. And they seem to go along with this plan. Prisoner exchange happens. They do go along with the plan. They don't say anything. It looks like all is good and done. But you look at the amount of time remaining in the episode, there's a few minutes left. There's still time for things to go bad. And then Dawn asks for Noah, which is where everything goes downhill. So Noah went with Rick and the group and told them about the inner workings of the hospital and helped them negotiate this deal. But she wanted him back if she's letting Beth go, since she's losing a ward in Beth, and then Noah was their property. Rick points out that he's not property, he's a person, he can do what he wants. And I would have to agree. I don't know why anyone would think you could own someone's services, indentured servitude. I mean, what is this? 18th century Europe or something? No. This is not going to go that way. We saw Beth slip a pair of scissors into her cast earlier in the episode, so you know that was coming back into play. And she decides to stab Dawn, like in the shoulder or something that really didn't hurt her that bad, it appeared. Dawn then shoots her, kills her dead. Stricken with grief, Daryl returns the favor and blows her head off. I can't say I blame him, that's probably the reaction most people would have. The other cops all stand down and say it was only about Dawn. Everyone can leave. Rick offers to take anyone from the hospital that wants to go with them. So this is a pretty sad moment. Out of the characters they could take out for this mid-season finale, Beth was at the top of the list in terms of characters that you can conceivably see dying. You knew that Rick wasn't going to die. You're pretty sure that Carl or Michonne weren't going to die because they really haven't done a whole lot this season so far, haven't got a lot of screen time. Beth was the character that got the most screen time, had the most episodes where she got to do something, and just had the most character growth. So of course, they're going to kill her. Everyone's going to be grief-stricken. And then the group that was leaving the church, so Abraham, Glenn, Maggie, and everyone in that grouping, shows up at the hospital, and as they're coming in, they see everyone exiting the hospital. And then instantly Maggie breaks down when she sees that Daryl is carrying the lifeless body of her sister. I mean, that's kind of the reaction we all would have, right? And the season ends or the half-season finale ends on a very somber note. So where do things go from here? They are not going to go to DC, as Eugene is a fake. Oh, and then also, at the very end of the episode, Morgan shows up to the church and sees a note that Rick left indicating they're going to be going to DC. So it'll be interesting to see if he ever crosses paths with Rick in the group again, or if he's just on a divergent storyline that runs parallel to everyone else's and they meet up at some distant point in the future. But as of right now, there's really not a clear path of where all the characters will be going. There will be a bit of mourning, so I would have to assume that the next half of the season starts off after the hiatus, that there will be more mulling and character moments as they all deal with what just happened. But there's not exactly a clear path as to what will happen going forward. But very, very sad to see Beth go. She was one of the characters that had developed quite a bit in the past season and a half. So she was somebody I was sad to see go and not get reunited with the main cast, just because she was a fun character to watch, and she'd actually become much more of a character, not just a background actor who just was in scenes and reacted. She actually became a fully realized person who took action into her own hands, and in this case, took a little bit too much action into her own hands. If she hadn't stabbed on, she might not have died. She could just let Noah go, and they could have tried to negotiate something, who knows. But if you were traumatized by this episode in the way that many people were, I was quite upset by the fact they killed Beth, and it was just so quick, and nobody, when she finally met back up with everyone, with Rick and Daryl, she literally only got 1 or 2 words with them, if any, before she got her head blown off. So it was a very sad moment. So if you have anything you'd like to say or any comments to share, you can make sure you can comment down below, or you can comment on housebythevideostore.com or any of our other social media links on Facebook, Twitter. We even have Instagram, Vine, and Reddit accounts now, so you can look us up on those as well. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.